I'm Kamoy, and welcome to another episode of Caramel Swirl. Not sure what mess I will get into, or if this episode will even have a guest on it. Let's get the swirl on and find out. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Caramel Swirl. Well, swirlers, this show was a recommendation to watch, so you know your boy had to check it out. And for me to talk about it, I can't start from season 2. I had to go all the way back to season 1. Yes, we're talking about my latest watch, Euphoria. And this show was fucking crazy. The creator, Sam Levinson, is a fucking genius, and he deserves all the awards that he can get. So in this show, we have our friend Zendaya, whose character is Rue, is so spot on, and that bitch is so amazing. I love her in the show. And the shit that happened in just one episode is just mind fucking blowing to me. I really couldn't handle it at all. From the drug overdose and all the addiction, the party, and not to mention the sex. And fucking Rue was so messed up throughout most of the episode. Like, then came Jules, and then shit got worse because her and Rue teamed up and they become like best friends. And I think that Jules is like an even medium for Rue, and I love that about the show because it is so like fucking relatable for most of it. Until today, I still can't fucking believe that it was like Nate's dad who had sex with Jules, because Jules had just moved into town, so she went on this app and started to go on like hookups. So she met this guy, and she told the guy that she was 21 after seeing all the shit that went down with how he treated her when they were having sex. It was brutal. Not brutal in like hurt and stuff, but it was like hardcore fucking sex, open your mouth wider and shit like that. I was like, oh my gosh, what the fuck is happening here? So yeah, I still couldn't believe that it was like Nate's dad who had sex with Jules. So when Rue started to explain and shit in that part of the show, I was like, what the fuck is going on this show? And then I think about Nate watching all those videos that his dad had in his drawer when he had like sex with all the other people. So, you know that poor Nate was like a little bit traumatized with everything that was going on. His young self, they show him watching all the sex scenes and all that mess. I'm like, oh my gosh. So yeah, he watched all those videos and he had to put everything back because his dad like know where everything was. So when Nate was watching it as a little kid, he went in there with a paper, took notes of everything, marked them down where they were, the color of the case, where it should go back, and shit like that. So you know that fucking kid was like paying attention. So like, hey, if I remove something from here, I would definitely have to put it back right here, or else my dad is gonna find out. So he know what the fuck he was doing at his young age. And with the guys, so his dad had sex with both girls and guys because he was a little bit confused and everything. He said that he couldn't come out of the closet at all. So in the locker room, Nate was like there and all the guys were like changing, and he said that he was scared to like look at the other guys' dick because that would give him like, not say a turn on, but if he starts staring, then he can't stop. So I think he's like gay, but hiding it from everyone, even his family. But then he tried to beat himself up because he doesn't want to be like his dad, where he is having sex with both girls and guys, which I don't see a fucking problem. You guys are having the best of both worlds. So, to each his own. And he, like, in the locker room, he just sat there and watched them all from the corner of his eyes. So, as I said, I think he's in denial with a few things in his life, or he just didn't want to, like, think about doing those stuff. So, yeah. And then further in the show, I think that Rue fell in love with Jules, but Jules doesn't know, like, she didn't know what to think about it all, because she went to the carnival and saw Nate's dad, and being a badass that she is, she walked up to him and, not to say confront him, she just was there because her dad, Nate's dad, was doing Chili's. So she went there, ordered Chili's, and I think that Nate picked up on the entire situation. But, like, come to find out later on in the show, I know I'm speeding ahead a little bit, but come to fucking find out that Nate remembered Jules from the video. So when Jules walked up to his dad, he kind of, like, picked up on the whole situation, and he, like, fell in love with Jules to see what was going on and what was she doing here. So at, like, the party, I think that he knew who Jules was, because from the video, but he was just, like, pretending not to know who she was. And then she found out. So I think that Nate picked up on the entire vibe, and then he, like, threatened Jewel about the whole situation, and then she panicked because the whole threat was to put her in jail for being a child molester, for sending nudes to a child who she thought was overage, not on a gay app. And it was fucking Nate. So, like, Jewel was like, yeah, I send it to you. And he was like, well, no one will know that because I'm not gay. So Nate, like, have planned, but I'm still, like, fucking puzzled as to why Jules, a female, is, like, on a gay app. I, like, still can't comprehend that at all. So Nate was on this app, and then he used, like, Tyler's name on the app. Come to putting everything together, Tyler was the guy who had sex with his girlfriend in the pool. So when the shit went down between him and his girlfriend, just because she saw all the different dick pics in his phone, and she was under the effect that she was under the effect of the Molly. She told, like, all her friends about the situation, and then all her friends told their boyfriend and other friends as well about the whole situation. So when they, like, come back to normal, they were like, don't repeat that shit. Don't, like, repeat that shit to anyone. That shit never happened. It was, I don't know why you would say something like that, because that's not true. So this show is, like, a whole fucking mess, and I'm still, like, puzzled over the entire thing. I get so traumatized while watching it. Sometimes I had to, like, move away from the TV, like, even to get another glass of wine. If it's too early during the day, I'll sip on a mimosa or something. But yeah, it was like that. So in season 2, like, shit got even crazier with all those shit that happened in season 1 plus more. So Ruth started to push Jules away, and then Jules was wondering, like, why are all these stuff happening? And someone beat up Nate, and I'm thinking that it was like Ruth's friend Fizz, but it didn't show it until like the further down in the series. But I guess, yeah, I will have to wait and see like what happened next. With all of this, I'm thinking that it was because Nate like threatened Fizz that about the whole cop situation, and then he got raided by the cops, so he was under the impression that it was Nate who called the cops on him because he like told Nate that, hey, don't mess with Jules, don't mess with Rue or her friend Jules because they're family to me, and if you mess with them then you'll hear from me. So I think that Nate didn't take that lightly, so he called the cops on Fizz and raided Fizz. So Fizz had to like throw all his stash down the toilet, and he wasn't too happy about that. So he went to his dealer, and then he had to pay up for all that he lost. So I'm sure that was like a little damper in his pocket. But yeah, as I said, this show is like fucking crazy. So you guys have to check this show out 100%. So like Fizz like went back to his dealer to pay for the loss of all the product, and I think that that's crazy because he didn't get a chance to like sell any of his products. So that's the shit, and that's all messed up, and that's fucking why I keep myself away from shit like that. Because my broadcast couldn't afford that shit at all. I would rather to go to the wine store and get all the stacks and get all stacked up on like my favorite wine and like fucking get drunk and, be honest, just record a show. Like, am I the only one who watched the show and like think that Nate's dad is like fucking hot? Like, oh my gosh. Ooh. Alright, enough of that. Back to the show. So, like, Rue is like a fucking character, and all this time she loves Jules, and I think that they are both amazing. They are the fucking best couple in the show. Because when Rue started to talking to Elliot about Jules, Jules got a bit jealous and like run into the bathroom. But she did come back and mention that to Rue that she was jealous because Rue was talking to Elliot and not paying like any attention to her. So, yeah. And bitch, the way Rue talked to her mama, I wish I fucking would talk to my mama like that, because I wouldn't even be here right now. Like, what the fuck is up with this bitch? Like, damn, I can't believe I didn't start watching this show like way sooner. This, I'm done. Like, literally done. And I can't believe I didn't start like watching this show sooner, because bitch, Rue started crying over those like fucking drugs. Bitch, you just got out of like fucking rehab. You are getting your shit together. Just like get your shit 100% fucking together. Be a big girl. I know that shit might get like, I know it might get hard. Because if you're used to like a lifestyle, if you're used to like a situation, then it's going to be hard for you to give that up and like forget about it all. Just suck it up, be a big fucking girl, put your big girl panty on, and you like, you fucking broke up with Jules because she was trying to help you. She was trying to help you get your shit together, and you like throw her to the curb, like kick her to the curb and shit. Like, girl, Jules really fucking care about you, so what you did to her was like messed up. If someone really cares about you, then you will know it by their action and how they attempt to make you better, how they attempt to improve your life and the shit in your everyday situation. So you will know if someone really got your fucking back and if someone is just there just to be there. So just open your fucking eyes, pay attention. In life, you will definitely know who is there for you 100% and who is just there just for a certain time frame, a certain percentage. And you just have to pick those people out, pick them apart, analyze them, and see where everything goes, because you will like never know in this lifetime like who to trust, who to believe, and stuff like that. So just open your eyes, be careful of all that you're doing. So that's what I'm saying to like Rue, like, girl, Jules fucking love you, so be yourself, love her. She's trying to help you get better and not like fucking kill yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. So at like that further down in season 2, so Nate's dad like came out and stuff. Like his wife practically know about the whole situation, but they were pretending that they didn't. So he was like living like a double life and shit. He had an office that he would go in, watch his video, and do his business. He would go missing for several hours. So his wife know like what he was up to, but she just put a blind, like turn a blind eye to it, because so she was happy and comfortable where she's at. So there was nothing for her to like worry about at all. And he came home, he got drunk at a bar, came home, was like peeing in the foyer and stuff, so, and making loud noises. So his 2 sons came out, Nate and the other one, and his wife, and his dick was hanging out, which I heard that they aren't real, and I'm very fucking disappointed, as I'm sure everyone else are, because you're teasing us with the good stuff, but then you're telling us like that they're all fake. Like, come on. That's the fucking reason. That's like why I watch reality show, because I know what the fuck I'm getting, even though production like cut shit out in reality show. So it's either way. So yeah, he was in the foyer peeing with his dick hanging out, and then his kids came down and his dick was still hanging out. They were like, put your dick together. And then his sons, they were picking at him. And I remember him saying to the other son, like, you're ashamed of me. I'm sure if I came home and I said that I love to fuck a lot of women and stuff like that, not include the guys, you would be like that. Don't say it, mom's around. But because I'm saying that I'm fucking dudes, you're asking me, like, what am I saying? What am I talking about? I need to be careful and stuff like that. Like, so he said, like, you're double standard because your mom saw porn on your computer with just 1 girls and 10 guys, so you're into like the gangbang stuff, which is more like life-threatening, not really life-threatening, but say a difficult one from what I'm doing. I'm just having sex with girls or guys. I don't have like a set preference. So, and you prefer to have your group of guys with 1 girl coming all over her face and stuff like that. Like, yeah, just pick a fucking side. It's like not that hard, not that difficult. And then he left, like went upstairs, took the family pictures and left. His wife was so embarrassed. She went into her room. And then she didn't came back out. He came upstairs, took the family pictures, left. It was nowhere to be found. Then, like, Nate went to Jules with the video and, like, came to his senses and gave it back to Jules and was like, hey, this is yours. Like, it's okay. My dad is gone, and if he found out that I gave this to you, he would actually kill me. Which I'm sure his dad would, because his dad was looking for that tape. That was the only tape that he was looking for, and he couldn't, like, find it anywhere because Nate took it, and then he went into Nate's room, searched the room, asked Nate for it, and it was, like, nowhere to be found. Like, So, yeah. So that's how the show went down. I'm still waiting on the final episode, I would say. So I will have to do another part on that just to incorporate it in this. So, yes. And as you can see, that Nate is still having, like, nightmares about his dad. And is still having issues as to why. And he's still having, like, issues with his sexuality. And I am, like, trying to see why. Because he knew about his dad. So I am sure that his dad, like, wouldn't have a problem at all. But because he saw what his dad did in the past and what he's like he saw when he was younger, I think that's a little bit, that's what is, like, pushing him over the edge. So I think that's why he, like, have, like, resistance, not say resistance, but, like, thing against his dad, which is sad. I like didn't have, like, a relationship with my dad at all, so I wouldn't know what it's like to have a relationship with your dad. My granddad was, like, my dad. Yeah, he was my father figure growing up, so I look up to him 100%. Yeah, so I have a dad, but it's not my sperm donor dad. It's my adopted dad. He adopted me. Yeah. So, on that note, I would like to say you can definitely watch Euphoria on HBO Max. It's available now. And thank you guys for listening to Caramel Swirl. I hope you guys enjoyed my latest watch, and I will catch you next time. Thank you for listening to Caramel Swirl Podcast on whatever platform you listen to your podcast on. Just like it so you can be notified when I drop a new episode. And if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, don't forget to rate and review. You can get social with me on Twitter at Kamoy357, as well as get social with the Swirl on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Caramel Swirl Podcast. Catch you next time on the next episode of Caramel Swirl.